Okay, there we go. Now the camera's all good. So what's up, guys? Back with another videos, and yeah. And today I'll be talking more about what happened to me in 2018. So this video is all about the top 5 craziest moment that has happened to me in 2018. The reason why I want to make this video specifically about 2018 because a lot of things been happening. This year's been weird, and I didn't do well, and strangest year, and also weirdest year of all time. And 2018's been a very dangerous year as well. Very dangerous, like I said, repeat, dangerous, very weird and strange. And yeah, man, this year's just pretty much tragic. It's like things are all over the place and stuff. So, and it's super crazy too. So yeah, so here are the top 5 moments that has happened to me in 2018. Even though I'm not gonna go over everything, there's more crazy stuff that has happened in 2018. But the reason why I don't want to share all in this video, the reason why I only share the top 5 is because it's important and stuff like that. But the other crazy news that has happened to me in 2018, but I don't want to share it, I have to give you a reason why. The reason why I don't want to share you other crazy news is because of its privacy, and I don't feel like sharing it. Yeah, just for privacy reason. So, yep, just to protect myself. So, yeah. So sorry I cannot show you all the crazy news, but you only get to hear some part of it, which you should like and be interested, and then hit the like button. Or if you disliked it, that means you probably want to hear my other crazy story that I didn't want to share. So anyway, it is what it is. And yeah, so here's the number 5 top crazy thing that has happened to me in 2018. It seems not to be so crazy, not too crazy, but yeah, but it's just pretty much normal to me. So the number 5 on my list is that I had a new family member this year. I have not had a new family member that I got added to my family tree for like a while, right? Ever since like 2011, right? Like I just had a new like nephew in like 2011, and back in my that's on my dad's side. But on my mom's side now, I have a new cousin on my mom's side. And yeah, and she was born this year, right? Her name is Talia. I can give you a few descriptions of how Talia is, even though I never met her in real life. But I actually do have a picture like downstairs in my office, a picture of Talia, right? Yeah, she is my new cousin, and of 2018, and she was born in February of 2018, right? So as you can see, I'm right now recording December of 2018. That means she's almost a year old, and yeah, pretty much a 9 months old baby. So yeah, nothing much to say about her. She's pretty smart. She's very observant, and pretty much babies, and but I can't describe her that much because that's all I know about her. Just very observant and smart. And also pretty much want to get lots of people's attention. And sometimes when there's too many people, sometimes she starts crying and all stuff. So yeah, man. The top 5 crazy thing that happened to me in life is I got a new family member named Talia. Right? And do you know who Talia is? Definitely my cousin. That's my mom's cousin. That's my mom's cousin. Also, yeah, she happened to marry a Caucasian male, and yeah, I think they will marry like, I don't know these two names, but I think they were married like in like September of 2016, and then I had a child in 2018 in February. So about a year and a half later, they got a child, and that child happens to be my family member, and that's my cousin. So yeah, not a lot to talk about. Well, anyway, let's get into Number 4, top craziest thing that has happened to me in life. So number 4 on my list is that I've been losing like 30 pounds in just less than 6 months. So that's crazy, man. Yeah, as you can see, like I said, man, you can go back to my like in my older videos, and you can see that I was a lot heavier back then. But then, as you can see, you know, my body frame and my body frame like shrunk a little bit. Well, that's because I've been losing a lot of weight. But then, you know, I gained a little bit after that because I realized that when I get too thin, it's becoming unhealthy. So I have to add back a few more pounds of muscles, not fat. So yeah, man. So let's see. So I think in January 2018, I weighed like almost 180. I think my highest weight in 2018 was like 178 pounds. But then by June of 2018, you know, I've been losing so much weight that I went even under 150. So yeah, lost more than 30 pounds in like less than 5 months. Actually, not less than 6 months, less than 5 months. Just imagine, man, like if it's a whole year at the same rate, that means I'm gonna drop 60 pounds. I could have dropped more than 60 pounds, but that's not gonna happen. You know, the lighter you get, the slower your metabolism is because your body's trying to conserve your weight, right? And then, you know, eventually your body will run out of tissues and fat that it starts depleting itself, and that's what happened to me. That's why this is going on my number 4 list about losing so much weight. It's because losing weight is hard for a lot of people these days, right? Especially those obese people, you know. You know that we have a lot of people in America that are typically obese, like 1 in 3, right? Yeah, and they have a hard time like losing their weight. They have a hard time dieting, but some people, they went on extreme dieting that they get way too thin. And this is what happened to me. I didn't get too thin, but I'm a little bit skinny. But then when I gained back these few pounds, then I don't think I'm skinny anymore. So yeah, so I went to like 178 to like under 150. So and also I have to explain you the reason like why I want to lose so much weight and how did I lose so much weight. So that's the part you want to hear, right? So yeah, I'll tell you like how I lose so much weight and why I want to lose so much weight. So you know how I lose so much weight? Well, simply it's common sense, you know. You just have to go on a diet and stuff, right? You know, just eat less and exercise more, you know. Yeah, because back then in the first half of like 2018, you know, between like May and January, all I did was just like lots of swimming and stuff, and did some running as well. And also I eat less, you know. I start to diet, eat less than I would, and this is how my weight like drops dramatically. Because you know, eventually your body has to give up something, because when you spend more calories than you put in, then eventually it has to deplete something, right? And then I did not know that I ran out of fat. I thought that I have lots of fat in my body, but then, you know, my tissues actually got depleted, and that's not healthy. So yeah, it's okay if you lose weight, but just don't deplete your tissues. That's what I'm saying. And also, I give you a reason of why I want to lose weight. Now, here's the part that you guys want to hear. So why do I want to lose weight? Well, technically, you know, there's to punish myself of what I done in the past, some stupidity what I did in the past, and also I didn't do well this year, and also I want to lose weight because I want to run faster for longer distance, not shorter distance, right? Yeah, because I love running, right? I love to run around and like to run like at high speed for long distance. That's why they call fat. That's why I read from internet saying that you have to shave off some time during long run. You just have to burn some fat, not muscles. But yeah, man. Yeah, because I see a lot of long distance runners, they all like look very thin and stuff. Like running like at ridiculously high pace and have a high endurance. You know, like running marathon and all that stuff. It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous speed and yeah, and the body can handle it. You know, some people die out from running and stuff. So anyway, that's why I want to be thin. Right? Yeah, so number 4 out of the way, and here is number 3, man. Number 3 top craziest thing that has happened to me in 2018. Number 3 on my list is that I've been improving running a lot. Bro, there's 2 big reasons of why, I think there's several reasons like why I get much faster than compared to my previous year. Well, yeah, man. I mean, I didn't expect to be running really fast in 2018. Well, this is why I don't make a lot of videos, because all I just focus is like running faster and faster for long distance. This is why I don't come a lot video, and so I make this video, and I would want to share you this story so that way you guys know what's going on with me, right? Yeah, so I did improve my endurance a lot comparing to like the last like 2 or 3 years, right? Yeah, man, and yeah, there's several major reasons why I improve. I get so much faster for like long distances, such as like 5 miles, 10 miles, 50 miles, or even 20 miles, or even a marathon or ultra marathon. So here's the reason of how I improve my speed. Well, first of all, I did trim off my fat, and second, I just keep practicing, and third, I just boost up my confidence. You know, as I get faster and faster, like, oh, like it's like the faster I go, you know, by recording the Garmin watch, you know, there's this watch I wear records your speed, how fast you run for a certain distance. You know, like as I get faster, it boosts up my confidence, and then I keep trying harder and harder and harder, and so my time gets cut off like seconds by seconds, right? Yeah, man. And this is how you improve your running. Because if you want to improve, you just need to boost your confidence, you know. If you meet your achievement, then that will raise your confidence level, and then it encourage you to try harder and harder. And that's what happened to me. And also, yeah, just burn off like those extra weight that your body doesn't need, right? I mean, you still need to reserve some fat, but then you need some lean muscle, right? And also, I'll tell you what type of muscle you need for you to run long distance. So since I like running long distance, I think I need like long twitch muscles, right? I heard there's 2 types of muscle when it comes to running. There's short twitch and there's long twitch muscle. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, short twitch muscle is it's muscle that makes you run really fast for a short distance, but then you can't run long distance at a good pace. But then long twitch muscle is that you don't run fast for a short distance, but then you run like you have really good endurance, and you can run like pretty much a long distance without slowing down too much. So yeah, long twitch muscle is only good for running long distances, right? That's what it is. And I most likely have lots of long twitch muscle on my legs. And so do you want me to tell you the time of how fast I run for a certain distance? Yes, I should share that in my story, because that's why it's the top 3, you know, how I improve my distance. So, you know, just a few years ago, you know, I actually started running like at least 10 miles, like starting in like mid of 2015, right? Yeah, and I barely ran like 10 miles in under like 90 minutes, which is averaging like 850 per pace. And then after that, I get a little slower and all that stuff, you know. Right, so for 10 miles, I usually run like at a 9-minute pace, or a little over, or a little under. Well, my personal best was like under 850, like 848 like per mile for 10 miles. But then, you know, since I've been getting a lot thinner, and since I've been practicing running, you know, my fastest 10-mile time is actually under 7 minutes, which is totally insane. I forgot how fast I run for 10 miles, but I get around like 69, 68, 67, or even 66 minutes for 10 miles. Yeah, that is definitely under 7 minutes per mile, which is way too fast, and this is why it's hurting my body. I mean, hurting my leg, right? And then for 20 miles, I did not expect to run under 8 minutes per pace. Does that sound realistic to you? I mean, it doesn't sound realistic to me, but it's because I've been trying so hard for long distance running, right? And then for 50 miles, you know, I think my best, like, my 15-mile time is like under 110 minutes, which is under 720 pace. No, let me take that back. Like, I ran 15 miles for like 7 minutes and 17 seconds per mile. And so I think that was my best run ever for a long distance. And then after that, you know, I just walked for a while, then my legs started collapsing, and I got sore muscles, and yeah, and that's where I collapsed my leg. Only one my leg got collapsed, but the other leg is still fine. So that's a crazy thing to say, you know. I cannot believe I'm running at a 7 minute per mile pace for over 10 miles. It's ridiculous. You know, like back in the old days, you know, like a few years ago, I struggled to run like 5K for like 7 minutes per pace, but now I'm running like 4. Now my endurance has increased like 4 or 5 times more in just only 3 years, man. In fact, I think I honestly did double my endurance in 2018 when it comes to running. I did improve, but not like 4 times better, but my endurance increased by like double at least to say. So yeah, man, just do a lot of practicing, and also I just travel fat. And keep this in mind, man, I did not get trained, and nobody helps me, you know. I have no coach that tells me how to run faster. I just run all by myself, and yeah, and that's another crazy story about my running, right? You know, with coach and all that stuff, if I was trained well, and if I eat properly, and if I get coached well, then I could probably increase my endurance like 3 or 4 times as more, and I can increase up to 8 times as much as I did like compared to like 3 years ago, right? Yeah, so I think for 20 miles I almost ran like almost under 150 minutes, while back in the old time, you know, back in 2015, where I barely ran to a marathon, you know, my 20-mile time was almost 200 minutes. So I shred off 50 minutes in 20 miles in just 3 years. You know, nobody can do that. I mean, if you run really fast, then, you know, shredding off a minute will be a whole big difference, right? But 50 minutes, like, that's way extraordinary, and that's insane. So yeah, and you know, there was some year like where I do increase my running by a lot, such as like 2018 and 2012, right? So before we get into the second crazy thing that has me in life, I just want to mention a little quickly about what happened in 2012. Even though my YouTube didn't exist back then, you know, in 2012 I just barely run under 7 minute mile, you know, back in middle school, and then all of a sudden when I hit the high school, I almost got under 6 minutes per mile. Just cut off 1 minute. So that's pretty darn insane. So yeah, enough with the running improvement of 2018, and yeah, and that's insane, man. I didn't believe I'm gonna get this far, you know. But then the reason why I was slower back in my old days, you know, a few years ago, because I didn't have confidence. I have lack of confidence. But then ever since I tried longer distance, and I started running faster and faster, and I cannot believe my endurance actually increased more than 4 times more. Actually, in fact, about 5 times as much. So yeah, so let me explain you real quick of how much endurance I improved. I'm not saying this is not a lie or anything like that, but I can barely run a 720 pace for just 5K, which is 3 miles, right? But then I can actually do it for 50 miles. That's my maximum capacity of endurance. So it went from 3 miles to 15 miles. So my 3 mile pace back in the old day is like my 15 miles right now. So that is a lot faster. Just imagine, man, increase your endurance by 5 times as much. And if you're on a track team, then coach and people will be so surprised, man, that you can run the same pace but 5 times longer. And that's insane. So yeah, man. Anyway, let's get into number 2. So the second crazy thing that's happened to me in my life is that I ran 40 miles, right? Whoa, let me take that back. I ran 40 miles this year? I mean, come on, bro. I mean, that doesn't seem so much to me because I did 50 miles back in 2015. I mean, why is running 40 miles crazy? Now, let me put it this way, man. It's because I ran 40 miles within a certain time limit, right? So before you get any further, I want you to take a guess how fast. I give you a few seconds to take a guess how fast I ran 40 miles. How many hours it took me. So I just pause for 10 seconds and then 10 seconds later I will mention how fast I ran 40 miles. And I'll tell you where I ran. So the hint is that I ran a big park in San Jose, right? That is almost like 2 miles long when you run around the whole park, right? Okay, so I guess 10 seconds already up, so I ran 40 miles in less than 6 hours. Now, does that seem fast? Well, let me put it this way, man. I'm good at calculating math, right? So running 40 miles in under 6 hours is like running like a mile in under 9 minutes per pace. Because like 6 hours is 360 minutes, and then you divide by 40, it gets you 9 minutes per mile, right? To order run, that's like a quarter of a freaking day, man. 40 miles in under a quarter day. So in order to run 40 miles in less than 6 hours, you have to run a mile under 9 minute pace on average, right? And my 40 mile time was like 5 hours and 59 minutes, right? Probably just maybe a few seconds at it as well, but it's definitely under 6 hours. So that's averaging 8:58 minutes per mile for 40 miles. And do you know what happened to me back then? That's the craziest time I've ever got, because if I aim to run long distance over ultra marathon, it will usually take me like at least 9 to 10 hours just to run 40 miles. Because if I want to run 40 miles, my recommended time minutes per mile has to be over 10 minutes indefinitely. But I didn't expect to get this fast. I did not expect to get under 10 minutes per mile. In fact, I even went under 9. Just like barely a few seconds per mile. You're running 40 miles? I ran 40 miles for like 8:58 minutes per mile? What the heck? I mean, come on, man. That seems really fast. Well, it seems really fast to me, but then, the world record of like 40-mile run is that a person can run, the world record is actually under 4 hours, right? But that's freaking insane, man. But then it actually comparing my 40-mile time to the world record, I'm actually take more than 2 hours than comparing the world record. So yeah, but that seems really fast, and not a lot of people can do it, right? A lot of people will just gas out after the marathon stuff, even for a good runner, right? And do you know what happened when I ran 40 miles? So I start running like from like 1 to all the way up to like over 7 p.m. that night, and another crazy thing that has happened to me after a 40-mile run is not just only my leg collapse, but then the park is closed, you know, the gates closed, and that's a big problem for me because I could not drive home. And I thought I'm not gonna make it home because not just only I ruined my leg, you know, I need my leg for driving, but also the gates closed and my car cannot go past the gate because you know, the gate's locked, so I cannot go past because it was very late, you know, in that park. You know how I got home? Even though the gate like locked me from like leaving the park, even though I parked there like overnight. I didn't really park there overnight, but I just like got to my car late, mainly because I was still running and stuff. Yeah, so I just have to drive like on a sidewalk, you know, where trees and bush don't block me from like driving from on the road. And so that's how I managed to still go past through the gate, is to have to drive somewhere else, but it's just not on the street, right? Didn't have to drive on something that's not, I drive on a lawn or a sidewalk. I cannot describe it, but then just cut through, and then somehow I just went on the street and somehow I drove home. So it's a long story. Sorry I have trouble communicating, but it is what it is. I try my best to explain it. So yeah, I actually have to drive something around the gate and make sure the path is clear, and so that's how I drove home. So anyway, so here's the number one craziest thing that has happened to me in life. The number one craziest thing. And do you know what it is? It's the freaking smoke in the environment. Yeah, you know, like this is why, like for the past like 2 or 3 weeks I didn't run back in like November of like 2018, right? So back in November 2018, you know, like there was a huge wildfire, you know, happened like up north, like 1 hour like past Sacramento or something like that. There was a huge wildfire that burned nearly like 200,000 acres in California, nearly 200,000 acres, and nearly 100 people dies and thousands of homes gets burned down. Yikes. And I don't know what's causing the wildfire, and it even went on news. You know how the wildfire affected me in 2018? Well, technically because I have to breathe in this toxic smoke. That's not good for my lung. I have to smell it for nearly 2 weeks, man. Nearly 2 weeks. And that seems really crazy. That's actually like 10 times more crazier than I run 40 miles. In fact, that's 1,000 times crazier, not even 10 times. You know, like people, like thousands of homes get lost, and like the cost is probably estimated to be like over trillions of dollar cost because of due to this wildfire, the gigantic wildfire. And yeah, and it really took the helicopter, the firemen, you know, the people and everybody just to contain the fire. It takes nearly 3 weeks, man. Nearly 2 to 3 weeks. And I cannot believe that I'm smelling this intoxicating smoke for nearly 2 weeks. I thought that the smoke is typically when things get burned, I thought the smoke will be gone like within 24 hours, but then it's gone within 2 weeks. And that's insane, man, and that's not healthy to breathe in all that toxic smoke. Yeah, because I live in California, man, that's why I smell all of this. And the smoke, I could not believe it traveled from California to possibly to like Chicago. Maybe because the wind pushed it away, and I cannot believe that there's a lots of wildfire in California. Not just only it happened like past Sacramento, happened like near Los Angeles, and I don't know what other place, man. But yeah, the smoke, the huge smoke that is like that I live 3 hours away from, it actually went all the way down to Los Angeles, and that's like over 500 miles, man. That's how far the smoke traveled, technically, because it burned tons of acre, right? If you don't know how big is an acre is, that's how big the Twin Tower is, you know. The surface area of Twin Tower is like 1 acre. Just imagine like hundreds and hundreds of those. are just fire. And then, you know, it just costs a lot of money and costs a lot of time and costs lots of life and death. And so this is why, you know, this year is disgusting as hell. And not just only from my lung, like I cannot do my exercise, I cannot do my outdoor activity, mainly because of the stupid smoke that's been stuck in my environment for 2 weeks. And so, if you don't believe me, go on the website, you know, go on CNN.com, or if people live in California, they should see the smoke, they should smell the smoke. I mean, come on, man, it's been there for 2 weeks. How can you guys not know? And it even went on news. Top of the huge wildfire. And this is the biggest wildfire and the strongest wildfire I have ever seen in my life. And yeah, and the news has not been, and nobody find out like what's causing the huge wildfire in like California, but I'm assuming it's, I don't know where it is, but like I said, it's like 1 hour away from the Sacramento, 1 hour from Sacramento up north, and I don't know, it's probably PG&E, like charger or wild power line or something like that. I think people assume that it was caused by PG&E, right? You know, this company that makes electric. But who knows, man? Maybe the fire like started by itself. Maybe there's so many dry grass and lawn. You know, that's how the fire spread out really quick. I feel really sorry for these people, man, whose life gets totally ruined by the huge giant fire. I feel so sorry, and you guys who view my video probably feel sorry for them too, you know. But if you're a victim of it, just please comment below. If you're a victim of the wildfire in California, please comment, okay? Because if you comment below, maybe I can help you, you know. Who knows, maybe the government can help you. I don't know. But it is what it is, man. There's nothing I can do about it. And there's nothing that I can prevent this like dangerous, disastrous from happening. This disaster, man, it's just horrible to see. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video off here, and yeah, and that's the top crazy thing that has happened to me in 2018. Even though I bring it a half an hour long, but I just want to put this in detail. I did not believe. I did not believe that the environment gets so toxic, you know. I run a lot faster for a long distance, you know, and I just shred off lots of weight, like in the first half of 2018. So peace out, and hope you enjoyed this video.